to look at all of these relationships, and like none of them are really of legal marrying age.
No.
Like, and most of them don't have parents in the movie either. Hi guys, and welcome to the PUNderful world of Disney. We're so excited to celebrate Valentine's Day, and so we thought we would bring to you our rankings of the top 10 royal couples. This list was not compiled only by us at the PUNderful world of Disney, but we took votes from our Instagram and Facebook followers. So in this video, you can find our link and you can come join us and be a part of the next vote. So let's get down to it. Number 10. The 10th couple, as voted by our followers, Snow White and the Prince. No one voted for them.
I mean, an iconic princess. She started it all. Does she even have a conversation with the prince before they're happily ever after?
He frightens her nearly to death and interrupts her singing with his singing. And you know, that's it. She fell for him, and that's that.
Yes, so I'm not surprised then that they're at the bottom of the list.
Okay, on to number 9. Number 9, we had voted Aurora and Prince Philip. I'm actually surprised that they're so low. I feel as though their love song actually says how when they saw each other, they felt as though they already knew each other. And then the movie is about like him saving her. I feel like they have a stronger love story than some of the other royal couples that we're going to talk about. So I was really shocked at this one.
Aurora was asleep for most of it. She missed that. She missed all the action.
But he was pretty valiant though with his, defeating of Maleficent as the dragon.
I think she dragged him down. I think he got the vote. He did all the
Typical.
work.
Okay, moving on to number 8. We have Mulan and Li Shang.
Okay. I actually voted for them because in the movie, like in the beginning, Mulan is told, you need to paint your face, you need to fix your hair, pour the tea, be demure, and you'll get a man. And she goes, no, and goes off and fights a war. So Shang doesn't see her doing all of that and fall in love with her because, that was customary in that time. He saw her as a person, not as a woman. And I think he was drawn to the fact that she was so courageous and brave, not only in fighting the Huns, but then in defying culture and all of those norms. And he was just like, oh my God, what a woman. Gotta be with her. So I'm very drawn to their story actually, because it's based in her courage and her bravery, not in how she looks or dresses or, follows society rules. And there's drag and it's perfect.
Their love story really didn't develop until the last minute of the movie, when the grandmother was like, oh, are you gonna stay for dinner? Will you stay forever? So it was sort of implied, but I love that she saved him. I love that was part of their story, that it really wasn't him saving her, she saved him.
I think I agree there that it wasn't the focus of the movie, so I understand why it's lower down.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a straight to VHS sequel that we've never seen?
The entire second movie is based on their engagement to their marriage.
Okay.
So they get married.
Thank you for filling us in.
They are
Okay, moving on. We now have in number 7, Jasmine and Aladdin.
They came close to my vote, but
They were my vote.
Yes, but I mean, a relationship built on lies doesn't usually last that long.
That's very true, but the way that I thought about it was their movie is very much a lot of interaction between the two of them.
Right.
And it's, one of those, it stinks because, yeah, he did lie, but why did he lie? He thought that was the only way that he could be with her. And then the fact that their love shone through, their turmoil, he does admit, I lied to you. And she has to deal with it, and she works through that, and then they do end up being together and being in love. I just think they have such a strong connection. And then I didn't see a lot of people voting my way. Okay, moving on to number 6. We have, I was very surprised at this one. Cinderella and Prince Charming.
I think she kind of got bumped up.
Yeah,
You know,
I think she was bumped up.
I think her reputation kind of put her in the top. Well, is it top half? No, it was 6, right? Well,
6.
Top to the bottom. You know, at the time, you have the fantasy of like love at first sight. You know, they fell in love. Before they even spoke, it was just, match. And so I think that was the ideal back then.
Yes.
Whereas now, that's
Not so much.
Yeah, I think it's more to do with like it was just really good storytelling than it was a good actual relationship.
Their downfall is also that he had to find her by trying to fit a shoe to someone's foot.
Another idiot who doesn't a woman.
I feel like this is the opposite of Aurora and Philip. I feel like Charming pulls her down. Like she was trying and she was wishful and she was hopeful and she had this like kind heart and she got everything she wished for. And then this dum-dum can't even remember what she
Based it all on a shoe size.
like,
Not one other person had the same size.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Or why didn't they just ask for the maiden to bring the matching shoe to the castle?
Because he's a dum-dum. That's the whole thing. Coming in at number 5 is Ariel and Eric.
They would not be in my top 5.
They would be in mine. Obviously.
No, I am really not a fan of Ariel. I just think she's very selfish. She sold her soul to the sea witch, like didn't care about anyone in her family, what repercussions, and all just because she laid eyes on a man.
Yes, Eric was a huge motivation for her to become human, but she wanted to be human before she ever laid eyes on him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like whenever people say, "Oh, she changed for a man," no, not.
She changed for herself.
She changed for herself, but like Ursula kind of manipulated it into being, well, if you want to get a man, don't be yourself, don't speak unless spoken to, like stuff like that.
Right.
And she's like, I just want to be human, but the guy's a plus.
He is a very good looking man. He is. I love Prince Eric, and he seems like a genuinely nice guy, but I just think, I don't enjoy Ariel.
I mean, I love Ariel, more for nostalgia. Like, I agree with everything she just said. I'm not, like, delusional, but I do think that when you look at their love story, it's almost as if, like, she had, like, this really huge part of her, like, her voice was, like, her identity, and she had her identity taken from her, and he still fell in love with her. I think that also shows, like, how, like, in the stars it was that they were true love, is that Ursula made her sign a contract that she was almost positive wasn't gonna work, and then it was gonna work. And she had to do something to step in the way of true love. Like, as much as you want to say, like, selfish and there wasn't enough time and blah, 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 like, they were going to have true love's kiss within those 3 days, and she was going to earn her legs. Like, that's the bottom line of the story, and if that's not true love, then I don't know what is. Moving on from probably our most controversial couple. Number 4, we have Tiana and Naveen.
We recently just watched it to refresh ourselves, and they kind of get on each other's nerves.
Yeah,
most
they
of the
didn't like
movie.
each other in the beginning of, once they got together and were with each other, they were.
I mean, I watch it. It's kind of like a Beast Belt kind of equation. The guy, he's a prince, not the best of guys. A commoner comes in and kind of sets them on a right path, wants to be a better person. I think they deserve to be up there.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end, he definitely was not selfish.
What I really like about their relationship is that, like, yes, they start out like not getting each other because they're from 2 completely separate ways of living. But he comes to really admire her hardworking nature, and she realizes through just her example of her own father that yes, hard work is important, but what's most important is love and being surrounded by those who care about you and support you and want to help you live your best life. So they helped each other realize what they were missing.
They taught each other important lessons.
They do.
We're getting into the thick of it. We're in our top 3.
Ooh, top 3.
All right. I see some people dressed up for this one. In third place is Rapunzel and Eugene.
I think they're too low. What I love about their relationship, it's similar because Tangled came out right after Princess and the Frog. It was a similar kind of deal where like they were kind of not so sure about each other, but they were both kind of missing certain aspects of their life. She had been sheltered her entire life by a woman who just manipulated and abused her all the time. And he was just kind of left alone and like abandoned, never really wanted. So he would be in search of material things that would make him happy, when we all know material things are not what make us happy. It's the relationships we have with people. So both of them were lacking strong relationships. And what I really loved is just the natural progression of their relationship. It just feels very genuine and authentic, and just the little details of it too, like how this has been pointed out hundreds of times, but I just love it so much. Whenever her mother would like show her affection, she would always just kiss the top of her head, which was the source of her power.
That
And whenever Eugene would like be near her, he would push her hair out of the way of her fade. I just love that detail so much.
Yeah, I definitely think that they have a real relationship, and like you see their relationship grow. And I don't think it again, like this is one of the more modern ones where like he has a flaw, she has a flaw or flaws, and you know, they kind of just come together and they figure each other out the way that we do in our real lives now.
They have the benefit of their movie really focusing on their
Yes.
relationship, whereas
Yeah.
some of the other movies, that's not the primary focus
Yeah.
of the movie. So you really do get all of those nice details about their relationship in the movie.
Okay, moving on to number 2.
Number 2.
We have Belle and the Beast, or Adam.
I voted for them. I guess, yes, of course, like nostalgia plays into it. But they have a similar situation to like the Tiana and Naveen, like the Beast and Naveen, like they were both pretty much a jerk, like not good people. But then like, you know, Belle, by the, you know, she's into it and she sees that he's
She's into it.
She's into it. She sees that he does have a softness underneath all that like cold hard shell, that scariness, and she brings out the best of him, and he becomes a better person because of her.
That seals it for me too. Like they just fit together. They definitely equaled each other out and made each other a better person. They were a good couple.
Yes. And
I liked it at the end.
I wish he would stay a Beast and not be Adam.
I remember when I was younger, I was like, ew, he's ugly.
What I would do for that hair, man, that mane of hair, I would take in a second.
Yeah.
I will play devil's advocate here. I don't feel that this is a relationship where both of them had flaws that needed to be fixed. She was perfect as a person, and he was the one who was flawed. And I hate to say this, but I will, because I feel like people would agree. This like relationship almost like facilitates the thought of like, oh, you can change anyone. If you just care about them enough, they'll care about you. If you throw enough care into them, they will then change themselves for you. Some people are just bad and aren't gonna change. And I feel like you could find a way where this movie led people to think like, if I meet a Beast and I try hard enough, he'll be my Prince Charming.
But I think she didn't necessarily love him at first, but she was thinking like, this is where I need to live for the rest of my life. Let me like make
it
the
a little
best of
easier
it.
for
And so
myself.
like, I think that plays into it.
Right, definitely. Okay, and here we are. We have made it to our number 1 spot. Number 1, our top royal couple, Anna and Kristoff.
Yay! This was my vote.
Yeah.
I just think Kristoff is the man. I mean, in the first one, you know, he was very quick to call her out on how stupid she was when she said, "Oh, I just met a man and I'm gonna marry him." And he's like, "You can't marry a man you just met." Like, that's dumb. Don't do that. So I saw the second movie for a birthday party for one of John's friends. So I was in the theater with a bunch of moms and 5-year-olds. And the line in the movie when he and Anna meet up again after everything, and he says, "I'm here, what do you need?" I heard every mom in that theater like swoon with that line. Because I don't think there's anything better other than your partner being able to read your mind than asking, "What do you need?" I'm like, oh, yes. So that, I mean,
I say that all the time.
but he should be reading.
And she's like, why can't you just read my mind?
He needs to read my mind. I mean, he's got to be one step above.
I was sort of in the school of thought, like, everyone else has one movie to kind of get their point across. And if we were going just based on the first movie, I wouldn't have put Anna and Kristoff's relationship as like quintessential, they're perfect, love them, top couple. The second movie, I think, is what really solidifies them in that spot. So I do think they have a slight competitive advantage that they had 2 movies that were extremely popular and not straight to VHS. So I think they had a little bit of an advantage there, but no doubt their relationship is really built on just communication, which is so important. That's where I think Disney is headed in the right track in portraying real issues that couples face.
And a healthy relationship.
Yes, yeah. And finding examples of good, positive things to show people rather than, oh, Prince Charming.
If you look at our rankings, our top spot, our third spot, and our fourth spot are all current, like the most current couples. They're the most recent movies. And then as you go down, you know, it almost gets older and older and older and older, because we're really pulling away from that, like, true love, it doesn't matter, you know, you're just gonna see them and know, and you don't even have to talk. Like, it really is, the movies go from like the least amount of communication to the most amount of communication.
Disney's teaching us something.
That, you know, the audience kind of trends that way too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that people are learning as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we really hope that you guys enjoyed watching us talk about our rankings of the royal couples for Valentine's Day. We would love if you guys would join in. If you want to comment below and talk about, you know, any of the rankings that you disagree with. We clearly didn't agree with all of them, so we're sure that you don't.
One was robbed.
We would love if you guys would join us, subscribe and like this video. You can find us on Instagram at the PUNderful World of Disney, and you can find us on Facebook too. We did these polls in both places. In our Facebook group, we have a lot of interaction. We do movies and we do lots of Disney discussion, and we would love to see you there. So we hope that you join us. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Have a
Have a wonderful day. Take care, guys.